So hello everyone watching, welcome back to a blue Skully trying to remain relevant while having minimal talent, but somehow I've reached over 100 subscribers. Yeah, I went on holiday a few weeks ago when I was on around 80 to 90 I think, and during the holiday I logged into my account and at one point was blown away to find out that I'd actually reached over 100 subscribers. Genuinely, thank you to everyone who watches this silly little boy making silly little videos on this silly little channel, on this silly little platform. I don't take what I have for granted. It honestly makes my day, even though this is a small following in terms of the wider YouTube picture. It honestly means so much to me personally to even get to that point. So I made a promise that when I reached 100 subs I would make a species deep dive video on the species that has been a massive influence in my, I'm not sure what you call it, a furry journey? The furry experience, I suppose. You know what I mean. Is there even a phrase for that? Either way, Skully has influenced me to get into the furry fandom, and if you haven't noticed, I am now a blue fennec fox missing a face for this lovely skull I've replaced it with. So yeah, best species ever. I am an internet boy, don't you know? My opinion is the only one that matters. So let's get into it, shall we? So Skullies are a species that is particularly hard to pin down because it kind of encompasses quite a wide concept. You put a skull on an animal and boom, you got yourself a Skully, for the most part of course. However, what makes them interesting to me is that they essentially become a wonderful canvas for creativity. Because of this, they are a species that is in a similar vein to the species that you see all the time in the fandom, the very popular ones such as wolves and foxes. And you can do a lot in terms of design work with these sort of characters. Skullies also can be made to be fluffy little soft boys, or can be portrayed as a species that has a lot in common with monsters and like has a horror vibe to them. You may have seen online suits that are very tied to Skullies that are quite popular if you go on social medias and stuff. These suits usually incorporate a bit of blood and gore to create a more like horrific looking Skully. These suits are super cool, and essentially they have the face of the animal, but they can also remove the face to have just the skull like underneath, and I think that's like quite a cool look. I think what makes these suits kind of cool is the way they don't even have to use the skull face when like out and about, and a normal sort of fursuit head over the top of it. I guess if it's more of a family friendly event. Like I said, the fact that Skullies can be customized in such interesting and creative ways is definitely one of the main reasons that I fell in love with them as a species. You may be aware, or maybe if you're blind, come on guys, let's be inclusive. I have a real love for Skullies, and they are one of the reasons I got into the fandom in the first place, which led to the creation of this channel eventually, for better or for worse. Ashen Fox has been my persona since I officially joined this fandom, and I think he will stay that way for a very long time at least. And eventually I would love a suit of him, of course, as he means so much to me, and my journey in the furry fandom began with him, so, you know, as a character he means quite a lot to me. Since this is the only time I will ever really get to share it, I thought I'd share a little bit more about my persona and give you his backstory stuff. You may have seen in my last video I mentioned that I love personas and characters with their own stories and backgrounds, and that's mainly because of my own. So Ashen Fox is a child of a fennec fox mother and a skull dog father, and has a really rather large family, including his cousin Haley Fox, a skull dog big into the fashion industry. Ashen lives with his girlfriend Ruby Rose, and in his free time spends it with his band Fur Flying, which he plays guitar for. He's super good mates with his fellow bandmate Liz, who he made the band alongside years before they came together. The band aren't anything major and just enjoy playing music for fun at little small venues, which they continue to do to this day. Ashen is a fun-loving and outgoing kind of character that loves to be around people he's close with and can be a little bit of a bundle of energy in group settings, especially when he's with his band. So that's Ashen Fox, my persona. I base certain aspects of him off of me and my real life, but most of it's just stuff that I've come up with over the years to tie him in with my other characters a bit more. I also base some stuff off how I would love to be in real life with his personality, my love for music. And for a while now, I really loved the idea of learning to play guitar, but haven't so far. So that became one of his defining hobbies, just because I thought it was cool. Obviously, it's hardly the MCU, but I'm really happy with it and love having mine and my friends' characters be a part of his life in interesting ways. And I'm always developing him. Certainly one of my fave parts of the fandom is that escapism into the characters you create and your personas and what that means to you. The last thing I wanted to mention is one of my biggest influences on getting into the fandom and was a huge influence on me choosing Skullies as my first species, and that's Winged Dwarf 94, as I will refer to them, just Winged Dwarf. When I was kind of first looking at the furry fandom, my girlfriend showed me their art and animations, which are amazing, by the way. Please go and check them out. I will link all their socials so you can go and support them and check out their amazing work. It's literally just mind-blowing, and I love the tone of their work. It's just lovely, amazing. I absolutely love their character Cadaver, and seeing the art of them and the animations, I knew I instantly wanted my Sona to be a Skully as a result, and that's kind of how Ashen got made in the first place. So yeah, I just wanted to put this in there as Winged Dwarf has been such an influence on me in the fandom, and I just love their stuff so much. Honestly, I can't tell you enough. Please go check out their stuff. It's amazing. Go and support them. So that's kind of it. This one's a little shorter than my other videos and isn't quite like my other species deep dives before, though, because this was a 100 sub vid and it was dealing with a species so wide as Skullies, I wanted to encompass my channel in general with some information about furry stuff and a dash of little personal stuff here. You know, all that I've really left to say in this video is honestly thank you so much for any and all support that you have given the channel so far at any point. Honestly, it's been absolutely mind-blowing to me that anyone would even care or be interested in the stuff that I make or what I have to say. It has been super humbling to me, and I'm so bloody grateful of all of the love and support I've received since I've started the channel. Let's keep going. I'm having a great time. I've got a few ideas here and there I'm coming up with and working on, so look forward to those. If you want to interact with me, go drop a follow on my Twitter, or the links down below. As always, thank you so much once again, and I hope you all have an incredible rest of your day. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye, guys. Have a good one.